All right, it's 6:45 and chores are done, breakfast done. They're getting ready to load up the truck and head out. What you gonna do today?
It's time to pick up more Mustangs for the tip program. So today we're hoping to get more than two. We'll see what the selection is when we get down there. But this is always a fun adventure, but a long drive.
Yep, but you've got two kids and you got Rosa.
Oh yes, Rose is going.
Rosa's going. Got the hot cocoa. Right, she's ready to go.
It is. I haven't picked it up yet. You ready?
All right.
We need your coat. It's cold outside. It's icy. It's all icy. This is gonna be fun.
Why do you have your bow?
I don't. It's my blanket.
Oh.
Okay. I think we got everything. Including an extra kid. We're going to drop her at the bus stop. She decided she didn't want to walk any further. Well, we're getting pretty close to Ewing. We've been on the road, about 2.5 hours now. I'm not sure how many horses we're picking up today, but I hear he's got a pretty good selection, so hopefully we'll get some nice ones and help find a home for yet a few more.
Selecting horses from the holding pens is not always an easy task, and everyone has their own preferred method. I go with an idea of what I am looking for in mind, but always remain flexible and open-minded. Most important is temperament, conformation, and health, as occasionally horses in holding may have notable scars, injuries, illnesses, or conformational faults that will make them less desirable to adopters. Because most adopters are looking for healthy horses that will eventually be trustworthy riding horses for them or their children, I have to keep this in mind when making my selections. I also tend to avoid overly dominant horses or excessively flighty horses. Although these can certainly make excellent trained horses, most adopters of tip Mustangs are first-time Mustang owners and thus tend to handle a calmer, middle-of-the-herd type horse better. Color and size are lowest on my priority list. As you can see in these videos, this particular holding facility's design makes it difficult to get a good view of the horses or how they move. Nonetheless, I have a little process I go through. On this particular day, there were nearly 50 horses available to select from. I got a list of available horses from the office and a pen to write with. First, I walked down the path, making note of any horses that are inquisitive, friendly, scratched up or scarred, overly dominant, overly flighty, or any other notables. Any horse that shows potential or really catches my attention, I mark on the list. The horses are always moving around and sticking their heads in and out of the head gates, so I have to be careful to peek inside the pens and not limit my attention to just those sticking their heads through. I then take a second walk down the path using a different mark on my list. Typically, I wind up marking some of the same horses both times, which narrows my selection. I then take a few minutes to really evaluate those double-marked horses a little closer. I watch how they move, how they react if I reach out to them, how they react toward other horses, and so forth. Some may get crossed off my list, while others get a third mark. At that point, if someone from the office is available, sometimes they are willing to go in and move the horses around a little so I can get a better feel for their temperament and level of anxiety. I then make my final selections. No method is foolproof when selecting wild horses, but this method has served me well. Once I select my desired horses to train, the staff will sort out those horses from the holding pens and gently direct them into the loading chute. We load them into the trailer and head home to offer them their first taste of domesticated life.
Well, I think we got a really good selection of horses today. They had some nice ones to choose from, and we're picking up 4. We kind of cover most of it. So I've got 2 little ones, a medium one, a bigger one that'll have some nice size to him. We've got an older one, and we've got some really young ones, and then They all seem to have pretty nice mellow temperaments. We'll see what happens when we actually get home. It's kind of hard to tell here in the facility, but yeah, here we go on another adventure.
So Danielle's got some horses coming back, and we've got to set up the chute. You might have seen it on the last video, but I want to explain kind of how we do this. This area here is actually used for storage, hay storage, and equipment storage. And in the winter time, we have the goats' hay over here, which we've kind of cleared out for this. And then we have their goat stands. We use this as our milking area in the winter time. So I've pushed off all their goat stands off to the side here, and I'm going to create a tunnel that goes back to a shelter that goes back to the round pen. And the idea here is it's about 7.5 feet in the trailer, it's about 9 feet in the chute, it's 12 feet in the shed, and then it's a 50-foot round pen. So when you design it such that it goes from skinny to wide, it keeps the Mustangs moving forward. The other thing is it's kind of dark here and it's light out there. So you go from skinny to wide and from dark to light, and it keeps them moving in that direction. You don't want them to stop and turn around and go back to the trailer. So kind of like flowing water through pipes, you start with skinny pipes and you go to big pipes. If you try to do the other way around, you get a clog, and the same thing happens here. So let's get to work. Okay, I forgot I lied to you. It's actually 6 feet in this, or 6.5 feet in this alleyway, because we make it just wide enough for that ramp to drop down and fit inside here, and then the horses can run off there. The last thing I do is I take this magnet, I run it through here. You wouldn't believe how many things fall out of your pockets, and nails and screws and pieces of metal. So we always check this alleyway because we do store equipment in here, so it's very important to check it for any foreign objects. Once a clean floor, looks like we're ready for horses.
So we're sitting on the side of the road down here in southern Illinois. I have a trailer with 4 wild horses and we are stranded. Essentially it's just a flat tire on the trailer, which normally would not be a problem. I've changed many tires. And of course, being the cautious, overly prepared people we are, I actually have a selection of 5 different size tire irons. And we purchased this new trailer, but we never actually matched a tire iron to the tires on it because it was an identical trailer to what we had previously, just slightly longer. We never thought about it. And as it turns out, brand new trailer, we just checked the tires last week. Oddly enough, I've had this weird feeling all day, and I've actually stopped and checked the tires a couple of times because something wasn't sitting well with me, but everything seemed fine. And then it blew. So unfortunately, I'm sitting here with these horses moving around. They're not too happy about it, and we have to wait for a repair shop to come because we're literally in the middle of nowhere and nobody really stops to offer help anymore. So we have to wait and hope the guy coming has the right size tire iron. I've never seen such huge lug nuts, so I'm not sure how this will play out, but it's always an adventure, right? So due to the dangers of being on a highway, I wasn't able to really show you what happened with the tire and the blowout, but stay tuned, and at the end of this video, we're going to show you a very important lesson we learned about lug nuts and tire irons. Home at last. That was a much more adventurous day than the last trip. Hi.
Hi.
He's a little better backing in the dark than I am. I've had my backing for the day, so I'm gonna let him handle it and go check the pen. Whoa, stop there. Let's try it.
I think he's good there.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do.
They smell bad. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
see, that's why I wanted this butt over this way. But that's okay, because the door,
still work.
the door is going to go
should
up
be
here.
going.
Just probably should stand there. I'm gonna stand.
I mean, I could bring it over.
really want
I could bring it over this way a little bit.
I think
as
it's
long as somebody's right there and we shoo them that way.
You got it.
All right, here goes. Ooh. Somebody may have to flag them out.
Nope, they're still walking, still walking, still walking, still walking. Okay, I've got the gate.
way different than Phoebe. Come here. Yeah. Yummy, huh? Hey, you took all of it. Oh, now you're gonna do it. I like you. You're pretty. Yeah.
I think I got a pretty good selection of ages and sizes and colors, and
You want to taste?
the sorrel is pretty plain, but she's gonna
She's
be
so pretty. I love her.
she's a bright red. When you see her in the daylight, she's this bright red color, and she's just as she just has the sweetest face.
Hey.
If I come to you, she's gonna run off. Ruth, don't. Okay, let her approach.
Yeah.
There you go. I think Ruth needs that one.
Wait, Mom, what do I do?
Nothing. Just stay there.
They're gonna kick me.
No,
they're not.
They kick if they feel threatened, so we're okay. You're fine. Now, slowly, slowly.
Anyone want more?
Well, we're home. They're settled. They're clearly a lot more laid back, I would say, than the last group we got. So I'm excited to come out tomorrow, get some pictures, and kind of get a feel for these guys. See how they do.
Nice bright pink color.
When they eat from you on the first night after all those hours of travel and stress, that's usually a pretty good sign, I've found.
He wants it, but he's.
So for the sake of safety, I wasn't able to do a video of the actual tire issue we encountered yesterday. So I wanted to follow up today and show you what we ran into for those of you who actually have horse trailers or you buy a new trailer. As I mentioned, we carry 5 different size tire irons in our truck just for emergencies. We often run into people who need help, changing tires, and it fits everything, all standard sizes. So we've never run into this problem. We bought this trailer. My husband actually, turns out he had checked it. And we had checked it against this spare tire lug, and our tire iron fit just fine. So naturally, you would assume the lugs are all the same size. I'm gonna let him explain what we discovered.
So our old trailer, which was the exact same trailer almost, a Titan, but it was 4 feet shorter. The lugs on it matched exactly with the truck, and lugs are standard sizes. There's about 4 sizes for passenger vehicles and small trucks, or even our truck, which is a 3500. And they go from about 17 millimeters to 20 millimeters, or around 3/4 inch to up to nearly an inch. But when you get to bigger vehicles like buses and stuff, there's a whole bunch of sizes, but they're all over an inch, inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter. They're actually really big lugs. This is actually a 27 millimeter lug on here, so you can't use a standard lug wrench for these. and you've got to find out exactly what size it is. And the other thing about it is you can't use a standard socket because you can see these lug bolts stick out so far. So even if I had a 27mm socket, it wouldn't work. I had to go buy a deep socket. And then I just bought a breaker bar to go with it, because the actual lug wrench for this thing costs about $100. So a breaker bar and a socket will run you about $35, so it's a lot cheaper.
So the moral to this story is, whatever trailer you buy, make sure you have an iron or a socket that fits the lugs. We've definitely learned a big lesson through this, and hopefully we won't break down on the side and get stranded with any more horses in the trailer. But everything is resolved now, and we're good to go. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's content.
If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And if you have, tell a friend, hit the like button, and leave a comment. We really like those comments.
Otherwise, we'll see you back next time here at A Different Way.
Cheers.